I'm going to record on this computer. Okay, so I've started working. So we have Ubuntu, we have SUSE, we have Red Hat, and we have Amazon Linux, and a couple of them, depending on what you want to do. But for the sake of everybody, I think everybody is used to Ubuntu, right? So in order not to cause confusion, sincerely, you can use any one you want to use. You can use anyone to use. It's just that their commands is going to be different, right? The command is going to be different. So if you're installing on Ubuntu, you're going to use apt package manager. If you're installing on Red Hat or Amazon Linux, you're going to use Yum package manager or DNF package manager. So I'm going to go over, I'm going to select Ubuntu, right?
Hi David, sorry. I think David is the most common one that we've been using, if I may say. As in that Ubuntu, I don't know about the other ones. Yeah, I mean, it's been the type that we are used to now, because there are some parts of a project that required us to test, to use a Red Hat. So
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know about the others, but if
you feel
I
I
don't
should use
know,
Red Hat?
Yeah, because I think Ubuntu has been the order of the day since Project One or something like that. So I'm just saying. So I don't know about the others if they have anything to object that, because Red Hat is not something that, okay, like Project 6 now. I think Dari advised us to use Red Hat. So
Okay. So let me just take an average call now. So everybody on this group, anyone on Project 5, everyone, I think everyone has passed Project 5, right?
yeah, I have done I'm about to submit.
Everyone's
So
moving to Project 6. And I
yes.
think someone are in Project 7.
I haven't gone past 5 yet.
Okay, who am I speaking? Is that Vish?
It's true.
Cool. Okay, that's fine. So okay, are you all agreeing? Please, I just want everyone to, have a say. Are you all agreeing we use Red Hat or Ubuntu?
Red Hat is okay.
We should use Red Hat.
Yeah, let's use Red Hat. Red Hat should be okay, I think.
Okay. Is everyone okay with that?
We can put a vote in.
Is everyone okay with that? I think I have Michael, I have Okiki, Vish, and Tosin. Okay. Then let's just Red Hat then. So I'm going to refresh this page. So something else. So I'm going to select. So I've selected the Red Hat free tier. I'm still going to go for the free tier also. So click on configure instance. I just want only one of these, right? So by the time you start AWS course, you understand all this information over here. So I'm going to leave the storage at 10 gigabytes. I don't have nothing much on it. So I don't want to add any tag. I'll just leave that. Then I'm going to now let me see. So normally for my own self, I do have some security groups I've created in order for to use for such purposes like this. So I selected that security group. Another security group, I have all traffic and SSH enabled. So why I created a security group to be used all the time, because look at this now. Anytime you launch an instance, a security group is created. And when you delete the instance, I don't think the security group is deleted automatically. So you're going to have a lot of security groups just flying around. So you can just have one security group, and you're going to attach it to all of the instances you want to create. So that's okay. So you're just trying to tell me that my instance is open to the world because I have allowed access to anywhere. So that's okay for me, just for test purpose. So, but we don't do that in production. We don't do that in real life.
Yeah.
So I'll go to launch. So
Sorry, can I just ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I had this issue when I created a couple of AWS servers, right, instances, and when I basically configured the mount points, basically, when I stopped and restarted it, it complained about the ephemeral storage being dropped. It says it's temporary, so it wipes out all the data. How is that created, or how do you avoid creating that, if that makes sense?
I don't actually get your question. Probably if I see a screenshot of the error you're saying, then I could say something about
I tell you what, I don't have it on site, but what we do is once you've created it, if you
what's your name on Slack? What's your name on Slack?
Okay, yeah, I'll send the question on Slack. That's fine.
Vish, right?
Yes, yeah.
Let me message you right away. This you, right?
Yes, yeah.
So please can you
send the thing, that would be
yeah. So send me a screenshot so I could have a look.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I've selected my keep here. I'm now launching the instance. So I'm going to launch it. So just ignore. We have a lot of this accompanying account. So just ignore all this. So this is the instance I created. So I'm going to name it blocker session. So just refresh the page. When it's been behaving like that, just refresh your page. So you could see that it's no more misbehaving anymore. Okay, so now our instance is up and running, right? So now, normally what we are used to is that I could spin up my terminal and connect to this instance, right from my terminal. But why did we use Visual Studio Code? Now we use Visual Studio Code majorly for what? For development, for remote development. Now imagine stuff like this. Imagine typing such things like this in my VI editor. It's not going to be easy, neither will it be fun, right? No, on our Visual Studio, on our VI editor or Nano editor, you can't move your cursor like this. You have to go line by line and stuff like that. So imagine you typing such information like this on your Nano editor. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. So that's the major reason why we try to use Visual Studio Editor to connect to our instance, so that it's going to give us a better experience in typing. So in your shell script now your shell script, I'm sure that it's more than 5 lines. It's quite much, right? And you need to type it properly. So for this project now, I don't think we asked us to use Visual Studio Editor. They asked us to use our terminal. So I will show you the two, right? I'll show you how to do the Git stuff from your terminal, right? And I will show you how to use your Visual Studio Code editor also too, right? So, and for those using mobile, excuse me, for those using mobile XTEM on Windows, you see the same process. Because the mobile XTEM will give you the terminal experience, the terminal environment for you to carry out all the commands you want to carry out. So if you're on Windows, assume this is your mobile XTEM, or this is your Git bash, or this is your putty. Just assume this as your putty or your Git bash or your mobile XTEM. All right. So I'm going to connect to this. So for me to connect to this, I'll click on the blocker session. I'll come to connect. I will show you the two. Let's go for this one first. So I'm going to copy this key. So I'm going to say yes to add it to the known host. So we are connected now. We are connected to so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'm not going to update. I'm going to install Git. It's very important. I'm going to install Git. So it's installing. Git is installing. So while Git is installing, let's go to our repository. So this is my repository. I'm just trying to work on some particular project. So I'm going to go to my repository. So now we're going to create a new repository. So I'm going to create new one. Where is it? Yeah, look at it over here. Create a new repository, right? So what I'm going to name this, I don't know. Let's just say auxiliary project. Let's name it auxiliary project, right? So I think we are good. All right. So I don't want to make it public. I want to make it private. I don't want to make it private. I'll leave it at public, so anyone on the internet can access it. If I make it public, you won't be able to access it unless I send you the link. I want to make it public such that everyone can see it and fork it to their own repository. So I want to add a README file. So the README file basically try to explain what the repository is doing or what the repository is all about. Right. So I'm going to say create repository. So the repository is created now. Now let's pause it there. Let's go back to our terminal. Oh, Git should be installed now. So Git has been installed. I'm going to clear my screen. So now, looking at this repository, right, it means that basically, let me use a late term. So let me just use a simple terms. It means that we have created a folder on what? On a cloud. That's what it just means. The word repository just actually means a cloud. Repository is just like a basket where you dump stuff. So I can try to call this repository a folder, right, in a cloud. But this folder is in the cloud, and this is my terminal. Now, how do I write from my terminal or from my instance to this folder on the cloud? So for me to have access to this folder on the cloud called Aux project, I'm going to clone it down to my own local machine. So anytime you open a repository, I want to clone the repository to your local machine. You come to code, you click on this, you can see to clone. You have various ways of cloning: HTTPS, SSH, GitHub CLI, and I'm not going to go to those other two options. I'm going to stick to this, which is the basic and the most common one. So you could click on this, copy, or you could just highlight everything and I'm going to copy it. You could download the zip, but I want to clone it. So you copy this code, right? Copy the code. Then I go back to my terminal. Now Git is installed, so I can use the command Git. Let me see. Let's see. So you can see Git is installed on my system already, right? So let's see the version of Git we are using. We are using the latest version, that's 2.270, right? So now it shows that Git is working on my system. So the command is available. I'm going to say Git clone. You don't have to use sudo for this. Git clone. Then you're going to paste the command, the link you copied from your repository. So you say, then you click enter. So it has cloned the repository. Good. So, but don't forget that our repository is still what? It's still empty. There's nothing inside. So if you do an ls, so you can see we have Aux project, right? So you don't do the mistake of creating Aux project, then not clone inside the Aux project. That means you have Aux project inside Aux project. So just clone and to give you a directory, a folder. Like I said the other time, I said we're just creating a folder on the cloud. So look at this. This is a folder. This in Linux we call it directory, right? In Windows we call it folder. So you can see what I was saying. It's just a directory created in the cloud. Now we have downloaded that directory to our local machine. So I'm going to change directory to this guy. So you can see this. The README file we created is there. There are some other stuff that came with it. These are very important. This is to show that it is a what? It's a Git repository. Good. So you can clear the screen. Now there's one thing I need to show you. So if you are doing this for the first time, either on Windows or on Linux environment, either Ubuntu or Mac, so you need to generate an SSH key, right, for your either for your instance or for your machine to communicate to your GitHub, to your machine. So I have done that for my machine already, but I'm going to show you later on. So let's just continue first. So we don't have anything inside. We only have the README file. Now, let me just create something that we can work on. We can say onboarding users. Okay, let's just call it onboarding. Abi? I'm sorry, VI onboarding. All right. So let's just type something inside. This is a test file. So I'm going to save it. All right. I'm going to write it to it. And it has been saved. Now we are inside the aux project, right? And we have created a new file. So if you do an ls -l, you can see we now have we don't have the readme only now. We now have the onboarding. We're going to look at the markdown format later on. Now we now have the onboarding, we now have the readme. But if you go to our local repository, we only have the readme folder here. We only have the readme folder here. So which means that this local repository has not been updated to this cloud repository or to this cloud directory. So we need to what? We need to update it. We need to push this one we have created. We need to push it to this local repository. So I might not take the full course on Git, but I'll just show you the basic command. I've used one already. We have git clone. Hello, can you all hear me? Hello. Hello, can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Though I missed some.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. So I've used one command already, git clone. We have git clone. We have git pull. We have git pull. This now I've showed you what git clone does. Git clone is for you to download down the repository down into your local machine. Now git pull does the same job also too. It downloads, but in a different manner. So let's assume that I'm a new developer and I'm being employed today, and many people has been working on this aux project, right? So I cloned down the aux project into my local repository, this aux project. So in the morning, I cloned down in the morning. I didn't work on it in the morning, right? So later in the evening, I want to work on it and push my code to the repository. Now, I need to pull down. Why do I need to pull? Because probably some other developers have updated this aux project. So I need to have the updated one before I start working on it and push it back to the repository in order not to cause conflict. So that's what git pull does, just to pull down the latest content from the local repository. So we have git push. From the word push, you already know what it's going to do. It's going to push this your local repository. It's going to the ones you have done on your local machine. It will push it to the cloud. So that's git push. Okay, we have git add. Right, I'm going to explain all this. I'm going to use all this one. Then we see what they do. We also have git status also too. So I'm not going to talk about other commands. So let's continue from there. So now let me start using those commands I've shown you now. So we have done git clone. We have updated this directory, but our cloud is not updated yet. So let's do git status. So you look at git status, you can see now your branch. I'm on branch main. The branch is up to date with origin main, but it's showing us our untracked files. When you say untracked, it means that these files has been added to this directory, but it has not been committed yet. Good. So it means it's now you use git add file to include into what will be committed. That means we have, just like when you're writing in a text editor and you didn't use Ctrl S to save, it's an untracked file. So we have actually not saved this guy technically, right? So now I said, okay, we have onboarding because we just created this onboarding, right? So nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. So for me to have this file, I can say git add. Now I can decide to write the name of the file, or I can just use this command dots. It will add everything. Dot means everything that on track is going to add it. So sometimes I just use this dot in order just to add everything. So sometimes you can decide to be specific and choose the name of the file. So it depends on what you want to do. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. Just determine what you want to do and also learn to follow the best practice of the company you are working with. So I'm going to click Git add. So if I do Git status again, you can see it's no more in red. New file what's onboarding, which means now this has now been saved to this directory. But that does not mean it has been pushed to this repo yet. If I refresh this repository, it's still readme only that is there. And in this place, we already have onboarding and readme, right? So now it has been added. Now, after the adding, don't forget the first thing is what you add it first. After adding, the next thing is now to commit. So I'm going to commit it now. I'm going to use another command called git commit. I'm going to say git commit, right? I'm going to say minus m. In order for that, I want to give it a name. So I'm going to put this double quotes and say I'm just trying to give a message, because when you're working on different repository, you must also give this message in order to try to explain what this commit is doing. In order to explain what this commit is doing. So I'm going to say our first commit, right? So now this has been committed. Good, you can see your name. Okay, it's asking that I configure my name, my address, and okay, normally it's saying that your name and email address were configured automatically based on your username and host name. Okay, so normally it's supposed to ask for my email and for my email and for my username, but based on because I cloned it directly from my repository, it has picked it automatically and configured it for me. But it might ask you for your own, so you can just use git config global then // if you want to configure, you can just say git config global. I hope I'm right. Right, then can I say then user dot email for email, then user dot name for name. Then just put space and put your name in front of it. So as simple as that. So but mine has been configured for me automatically. I never knew to even do that. I was expecting it's going to ask me to configure, but that's fine. That's okay. So now what we have done so far is that we created a file called onboarding into this directory. We checked it, we saw that it has not been on track. Then we tracked it by what? Using git add. By using this command, we added it to our file. Now, after adding, you need to commit. Commit means to make sure that, okay, it is present and is available for you to be pushed to the cloud repository. So after adding it, we check our status to ensure that it has been added, right? Then after that, we use git commit. In other words, now don't forget git commit, we only commit what you have added, right? Git commit, we only commit what you have added. So if you have not added this guy to onboarding, git commit is not going to commit it, and you won't be able to push it because you can only push what you have committed. Do you understand? You can only push what you have committed. I'll come again. After creating the user, you have to add it, right? Because you can only commit what has been added. I can only push what has been committed. So I have fulfilled all the requirements. I have added it and I have committed it. So now I'm going to say git push, right? So just all git push, nothing, no extra command. I'm going to click enter. So now it's asking me username for GitHub. So this is my username. I don't know if it's fine, it's beautiful enough, but I've been using it like that. So I'll just continue using it like that. So I'm going to say my username is So this is happening because it is the first time I am pushing to this repository from this PC, right? So click enter, it asks for the password. You won't be able to see it, I'm typing it, and I'm happy that you're not seeing it. Okay, enter. So you can see it has pushed to this. So let's go to our repository, let's see. Can you see? This is a test file. So if you can see now, we already have our files right here in our local repository. Now let me show you what we can do with pull. So imagine that when I click on this guy, I'm not trying to edit it from here. Right, so I'll write trying to cause an error. Now, I am not editing from my local machine, you know, right? So let's assume that this is another developer somewhere updating this file. This is another developer somewhere updating this file. Good. So I'm going to say commit directly to the main branch. I'm just doing this just to show you a particular command. So I'm going to say commit changes. Commit means to save. So now from this place now, you can notice you don't need to do git add, git status, or git push. Once you just say commit, it will directly, you know, save it for you. I just hope I'm not confusing you. Now let's go back to our onboarding user. Look at this now. This is a test file, but we already have another line over here. Try to cause an error. Why? Because we need to pull the latest code down. Now, two things. If I should write to this file, right, and I make a commit, if I try to push, it will cause an error because this file has been updated. So that's why it's very important that before you start working in a file, always try to pull down the latest code. So I'm going to escape this now. I'll actually not cause the error. I don't like to see error. So what I'm going to do is that, because I'm not sure if this file has been updated, I'll just say git pull. So you can see now. Now let's now open. Can you see that we have it now? So I'll just do one more file and we're going to be done with this. I did not cause the error, right? So now I'll take the step one more time again. So if you check our git status now, git status, so you can see that onboarding. I'm going to create another file again, touch test in this. So if I do git status, so you can see now we have two untracked files. It's saying, look at this one now, it's not a new one. This one is a new one, sorry, but this one is not a new one. It's telling us that this has been modified. You understand? It is not a new file, it has only been modified, but this one is a new one. So if I say git add test, now if I do git status, so you can see one has been added, the other one has not been added. So if I try to commit and push now, this is the only file that will be committed and this is the only file that will be pushed. But I don't want to do that. I can just use git add and it has added everything for me. And you can see now. So now after adding, I can go ahead and commit. Just commit -m. So don't forget, put the reason why you are committing. So I'm saying I'm committing because I'm playing around, just using random words. Just commit -m, playing around. So it hasn't committed. Now after committing, you cannot go ahead and push. still asking me for the username. It's not meant to be. I want to put the username. This is not going to happen all the time. Because if I go to one of the projects I'm working on, it will not ask me for this. It's just a new one. Okay. So that's git push. So if you go back to our repository, let's reload it. So I think that's been updated now. So I don't know, you might have this error that you cannot push or you cannot connect to your GitHub because of SSH key file or LinkedIn. If you see that kind of error, now you come to this place, click on this place, you come to settings. So in your settings, this is your profile. Don't mind the ugly face. So come to SSH and GPG keys. Now, if you can see, I have added a key for myself. I've added an SSH key for myself. So if I want to add another one, I'll just click on new SSH keys. New SSH keys, and we'll add. So for Windows users, I think I will send a command to the Slack. I'll send this to the Slack. So for everyone that wants to think it's just how to generate, where did I place it? Yes, how to generate SSH keys in Windows 10. So you learn how to generate SSH keys. So in case you have this error of SSH keys, just follow this step, generate your own SSH keys, then you copy it over. This step is very, very explanatory, like very, very explanatory. So I'm not using Windows, I'm not able to follow it. So I will just place it on the group chat. So I'll just place it on the group chat so everyone can look into it. So but for the Linux users, you already know the command SSH key gen. So I've generated one for myself before, so I don't want to generate this. Okay, this is on my PC so I think I can generate it. Just click enter. Just click enter. Don't enter any pass-free. Just click enter, and it has been generated. So if you change directly to .ssh, oh sorry, I have to change directly back to O, then change back to .ssh. Right. So this is where the files, the keys you generated. So this IDRSA is public file. IDRSA pub is public file, and IDRSA is what is private key. So it is the public key. Please always note this. You don't copy out your private key. Don't copy out the private key. Only copy out your public key. It's very important, please. So I'm going to say Kai ID RSA .pub. So I'm going to copy this key. So also Windows user also do, it is your public key you copy. I'm going to copy this key. I'm going to come over to this place just to allow your machine to talk to your repository in case you have that error. So you click on new SSH key, copy and paste, save, as simple as that. Then you'll be able to connect to your repository, to your account on GitHub. So I think that is that about connecting via our terminal to our repository. So we have been able to make some changes to this repository, Ox project and the likes. So let me step aside a little. Does anyone have any question or anything before we move to the other section? I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to connect, and I will show you some basic .md commands and formats. So please, any questions so far?
Hi, David.
Hi, Shola.
No, it's me. Hello.
I'm with you.
All right. So yeah, I want to find out, how do you merge two different branches together? At the moment, I've got two different files under main and under master, but I want to merge both of them together to be under. How do you do that?
Well, you know that main and master, that means you have two repositories, two different repositories.
It's the same repository. Yeah, it's the same repository.
Sure.
But
You have main and master.
Yes, I can share my screen so you see what I'm talking about.
Okay, let me just quickly see before I move to the next one. Please share your screen.
Okay, just one sec. I'm just signing into GitHub.
Are you ready now, or she just continue?
Yeah, I'm ready. You need to enable sharing.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got this. So under this Ox project, I've got two branches. The first one is main.
Yeah, let me see that.
And the second one is master. So under main, because when I was going through a lot of videos on YouTube about how to use GitHub and all of that,
Yeah.
I was just following the instruction the guy was giving. So all of this was created under main, right? But eventually when I now pushed from my instance itself, it was pushed under master.
Masters.
So now I've got master and I've got main under this auxiliary project.
So
It shows two branches now.
Let me show you what happened actually. Initially, it was master that GitHub used initially, right? Master it was master and then slave branch, but because of the recent protest of Black Lives Matters, so they stopped using the word of master. So we switched to main and branches. So what happened was that when you created your repository, I think it was created with master when you cloned it. But when you created it online on your GitHub repo, it was created with main. So you didn't rename on your terminal first. There's a way you can rename from your terminal before you push.
I tried to, it wouldn't allow me to push to main.
Okay, so let's do like this now. So what you're going to do is that you're going to create a pull request. Come to this pull request.
Okay.
Can you see this command? Pull request. Look at it up here under add file.
Here.
Yeah, click on pull request. So main is the main, that main branch is the base one. So scroll down. Just scroll down. Okay, scroll up. Let me see. So there's nothing to. Okay, I think it is even with master itself.
Yeah. So this everything you are saying now is in the master. Is in the master.
Is in the main also too. The main is the default branch. So you created the master branch and you now push to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused now, because now I don't know where exactly is everything I created. Is it in the main or is it in the master? And instead of seeing two different branches, is it possible to merge both branches into just one? So I'm seeing just one.
We can. But what? Click on this master. Let me see. Click on auxiliary project. Go back to auxiliary project. Let me see. Okay, you have main and you have master. So if you click on that main. So if you notice, you can see that main is the default one.
Yes.
So probably you created master and it. So I think the next thing we should do is we are meant to create a pull request and then merge this to the main and merge your master to the main and delete the branch. You understand? So you're going to create a pull request on master, then you match the pull request to your master. So go to the branch. Let's see. No, to the master branch. Okay, click on pull request. There's nothing to compare. Scroll down. There should be a place I can create pull request. That clicks. Go up a little. Go up a little. Scroll up. There's one place that shows add readme file. Go back one step. Go back one step.
So
Yeah, let's
that's
use that
back.
row. Yeah, let's click on this add readme file. Let's just try to to simulate a change. Yeah. Just type anything inside.
Where do I type? Inside here?
Yes.
Okay.
Click enter, just type anything inside. Yeah, okay. Save now. Scroll down. Commit. Now, look at this now. Compare and pull request. So I think you have to probably delete this repository. Just like they're like two masters. Yeah, two different masters. So one master one master will not be merged to another master. They're just like two boss of their own.
Yeah.
So I think that's what is happening. So you probably have to delete one and update the other, but save your file somewhere first.
So, which is my next question now is, instead of deleting the repository itself, is it possible to delete one of the branches?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can just delete one of the branches.
Yeah, so I want to delete the main.
No, you can't delete the main. The main is the default. It's the master you delete.
And I can't change the master to the default.
No.
Oh, sorry, I can't change default to master, whichever way it is. Because see, okay, so what I notice now is I can't, every time I try to push to main, because I've used three different instances, and every time I try pushing to main, I keep getting an error. And I've seen that on other people, because I also I think
Okay,
I
let's
asked.
let's do it this way. Try to create another repository now. While I continue with this session, try to create another repository. Then let's push it. Then let me see the errors we give it to you. So can you just stop sharing so I can continue then?
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I've shared this link also to the common markup.help on the group. So now I want to connect to this instance via Visual Studio Code. So you can download. So if I check out to if you're how to install Visual Studio Code on Windows 10. So you can just follow this process. And just follow this process. If you want to install it either on your Windows or on your Linux environment, so you can just follow their website in order to install it. But I've got mine installed already, so just you have to find a way to install it. Then on this one I sent to you, it is important that you enable SSH feature on your Windows. So this blog will show you on how to do it. It is important when you are downloading Visual Studio Code also too, and when you are trying to do SSH also too. So this blog will help you resolve other issues. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You get. So you can just install the Visual Studio Code on your own. Now, after installing Visual Studio Code, there are some plugin extensions you need to install also too. So you come to this place, you search for SSH. Oh, sorry. So can you see that I've got it installed? You have to install these two, remote SSH and remote SSH editing. These two are very important. And also to the SSH extension. So these are the three files these are the three plugins, Visual Studio plugins are important for you to edit. So we have SSH extension, we have the remote SSH, and we have this. So now if I want to connect to this instance on this.
Hi, David.
Yeah.
Can you roll back a little bit, please? How do I go to where I'm to add the extension for?
So after
Visual
downloading
Studio?
and installing Visual Studio Code on
I
your
already have
PC.
it installed, yeah.
Yeah, so you just type this. So you're gonna have, when you type SSH, please note this name, remote SSH, right? Remote SSH editing.
Is that under?
Okay, look at this icon, extensions.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
SSH, yeah.
SSH. So you understand.
Okay. So which one are we installing? Remote SSH.
Remote
And
SSH is very important, the most important one. Then you can also install. Turn it down. Install again. I think that one is very important. Remote SSH, then remote SSH editing. I think they follow each other. So those two are very important. Then also to SSH extension. That's all. That's just the three things you're installing. Right. So this is the where's the instance again? Blocker session. So I've clicked on it. I'll come to connect. Right. I'm going to copy this to my clipboard. Good. No, not this. Sorry, not this. I'm used to that aspect. So you click on this, then I'm going to come and copy the public DNS. Click on instance summary. See, click on instance summary. Then I come to public IPv4 DNS. So I'm going to click on this. So I'll go back to my Visual Studio Code. Let me just create a new window. So I'm going to create a new window. So now because I have installed those extensions, I'm going to have something like this. You understand? Because I've installed SSH extension, I'm going to have something like this. So you can click on this place, or you can click on F1. It will bring out this. If I click on F1, it will bring it out for me. If I click on this place, it will bring it out for me. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to set up the configuration file first. Now it is showing me as the first one because you can see recently used. I use it almost every day, so it's on my top list. But for yourself, if you have not used it before, you might not find it at the top list here. You might want to search configuration file. You can see. So you're going to open remote SSH configuration file. You see remote SSH configuration file. Or if you type SSH, can you see? You open this one, open configuration file. So I'm going to click on this. So this is my own. So this one will vary depending on your own window system. It could be Windows, it could be Linux, but definitely we have different usernames. One is Livingstone, just like on my repository. So that's the name I use mostly. So I'm going to click on the first one. So I have a couple that I'm using already. So when you click your own, when you open, it's going to give you a default one, a first one that you can see as a template. You want to see that as a template. So you don't have to have all this on your head. You're going to have your own a template for you. So don't forget, I think I already copied. So now by default, just like VI editor, by default, you're not able to type anything. I'm typing now. You're not able to type anything inside your this thing. So until I click enter before I could type inside. Do you understand? So you will not able to type anything until you click just like your VI editor. So let me paste what I've copied before. So I'm going to copy this as an example. I'll just copy it. I'm going to paste it here. So the host, now this host, it can be any name. You really want to determine this name. So I'm going to name this, I think we named it blocker. We named it, okay, I can just give it any name. So I'm going to name this guy blockers, right? Now this host name, it is the public IPv4 DNS you copied. So I'm going to delete this away. I'm going to delete this away. It is the public IPv4 DNS you copied. So I'm going to copy this. Don't forget I copied this from the internet, from our instance. So I'm going to place it as a host name, right? Now, if you are using Ubuntu, the user will be Ubuntu. If you are using Red Hat, just like as you are doing now, the user will be what? It's going to be EC2. So don't forget, the user will be EC2. So depending on the Linux flavor you are using, if it is Ubuntu, it's going to be EC2 user. If it is Amazon Linux, it's going to be AZ user. If it is Red Hat, it's going to be EC2 user, right? Now, identity file, now this is the location of your PEM file. So if you notice, my own is in the root directory because I'm using Linux. Home directory, the root directory in the home, in the Livingstone, in the downloads, then the name of the file. So for Windows user, you can do something like this. If you don't know the place, you can just go. So for instance, now you can go to a file like this, and you can right click, and there's an option that shows you copy paths to file, something like that on Windows. In case you don't know the location, you can just do something like this. Then you just right click on it to show you copy path. So just go to where your PEM is, just do right click and copy path to file, right? Sorry, copy path to file, then you paste it here. So that's that about this. So as I've said earlier, after installing the remote SSH stuff on the lights, by the time you open this config file, you will find an example here. So you place it with what you want to do. So this one here, the host name is the public IPv4 that I obtained from my instance. Yeah, so I just copied it and I pasted it, right? And I've also, the name of the instance is what EC2 user, right? So if you are saying answer me, ignore this. I'm trying to log in as another user. That's another story for on its own. So, but basically, it's only an EC2 user, right? Then this is the location to my PEM key. Normally, the PEM key you use in connecting the instance, just like when you're doing SSH. If you notice, if you click on this blocker session, I come to connect. You can see it is this PEM key is using DevOps PEM. So I'm going to save, Control S to save. Again, I'll click on this green button, or you click on it, or you click on F1. This time around, I'll click, if you search connects. So I'm going to choose on connect to hosts. So because I have a few of them already here, so normally for you, it might be only this blocker is going to show you, the only one you have created. So I'll click on blocker, right? So it's coming up. Let's see if it's going to come up. It's taking its time. Okay, so I think it's connected without any error. So just the normal way. So don't forget, you have created some files. You can just close this guy. You don't need it. We have created some files. This guy is disturbing me to update. So I'm going to click on this open folder explorer. So click on this. You can see connected to remote. I'm connected to this guy already. So I'm going to say open folder. So it's asking me which folder should I open. Is it VS Code server? Definitely it's Ops project you want to open. So you click Ops project. Then you click OK. Then it's going to open a folder for you. Okay, so as I've said earlier, I don't need this. So you can see that now we have our users here. I mean, we have our files here, what we created initially. Don't forget, you cannot edit automatically until you press I, right? We have the README file that we created, and we have the text file, the empty one that we created. Now, the question is, how do we now do Git or Git push and the likes? The sweet thing about Visual Studio Code is that it comes with a terminal. Just click on this, click on terminal. For Windows user, you also have your own terminal also to bring it out for you. Just click on new terminal. So you can see it's going to open the terminal based on this current folder. Based on this current folder. So also Windows user also too. Just click on that file, open the file, and open your terminal, or to open your terminal based on this folder. Then you can basically run your Git commands just the way you are running the Git command here, right here. Do you understand? So from here now, so now I don't need to type for my terminal anymore. I can do all the typing from here. So you can see, and you agree with me, that it is more easy to type from this place. It is more easy to type from this place than from your, imagine saying VI onboarding, right? Then I start typing from the terminal. Which one will you prefer? I think this one is still more easier to type than, so I'm just going to close this. So you can actually do all your typing, you can actually do all your typing from this place. But don't forget, when you see something like this, click I, just like your VI editor, then you need to what? To type. Good. So now I think the last part, I was saying that I will show you some .md format.
So how do you save here
Just
when
Ctrl
you've
S.
typed?
Ctrl S.
Okay.
Just Ctrl
Okay.
S. Just Ctrl S. So if I do something like this now, I can now connect to I cannot connect using VS Code editor. So I'm going to save. It's going to change color. Can you see? Modify. It has not been modified. So let me see. Do we actually need to install any Git extensions? You might not need. Let me see if I install any Git extension. I quite forgot. So you actually don't need to install any Git extension. It will work perfectly without installing any Git extension. So probably you now want to have some other functionalities. It's fine, you can install it, but I don't need any Git extension, so I didn't install any Git extension, as you can see. But if you want some other functionalities, extra stuff, you can go ahead, you can install it. It's no problem at all. But for me, I don't need any other extra functionality as far as Git is concerned. So I didn't install any Git extension. So you can now we have modified our file. We need to update. So I'm going to say just like a normal file, Git add. So that's been added, right? And we say Git, I'm going to say Git commit -m, right? Testing VS Code. So click enter. That has been committed. Good. So in case you don't want to commit it anymore, you want to like do something, you can just do it. This can just do this. So let's say Git push now. Right? I think we have added and have committed. I was saying something the other time that it's not later on, it's not asking for the password and username anymore because I've done like twice now. So we are now friends. The guy recognized me now. So let's go back to our repository and let's see our changes being effected here. Yeah. Okay. So now we can basically connect to our repository. We can create files locally. We can add it. We can commit them. We can push to our repository. But basically, when you want to submit your project, let me show you something. There's something called .md format. You can please come here. I've sent the link to the group. You can come here and read about .md format, what it means. Just like you trying to write in. Let me show you this site. Right, for those in project 11, you're familiar with this site very well now. You can see this right, docs.ansible.com. It is .md format. It's a format used in writing documentation, very easy and useful. If you can see this, site now, this site is written in .md format. Let's open one. Let's just open one. Just open one for me. Yeah, look at this. This side, as you're looking at it, is written in .md format. It's written in dot, so it's very useful in writing documentation, right? And that's, as a DevOps engineer, you need to have a feel of that and know what it looks like. But we might not be doing complex stuff like this. Might just be doing the simple aspect of it. So in the Markdown format, I'll just quickly talk about a little. So if you want to bold, you do this. If you want italic, you do this. If you want heading, you do this. If you want a double heading too, you do this. If you want to input a link, if you want to input an image, if you want a block quote, if you want a list, you can do any of these. You can do horizontal rule. So this is just like a cheat sheet that you can use to do your these things. So I'll go ahead from this place now. So I'm going to create a new file. I'll just do a simple one for us and I will see. So from this place, I can create a file for my terminal. I can just do touch test2. But I don't want to get used to my terminal so much. I can just come to this place also too. You can see this one. This one is for file. This one is for folder. This one is to refresh. I can create this one. I can say Markdown. Now, Markdown format, the extension is called .md. So I can name this one assignments .md. So you can see that even Visual Studio Code has given you that this is .md format. So that's how you save your file. So from here now, you can now start. So let's go to a project. So currently I'm trying to complete this particular project 14. So let me go to projects. Let's go to the Ox project. I'll be using Ox since. So if I want to say, okay, I want to write reports on this shell scripting. So I can just come here now. Because an MD format, you can actually see the preview. I'll click I to enter. So I'm saying I want this to be heading, right? Let's make it the heading. I'll say shell scripting. So just basically the way you write your assignment on Google Docs, but some little things going to be different here. So look at this. Preview. Look at this second one. I'm clicking on this second one. Open preview. You can see the way it's appearing. Let me remove one hash. Let me see. And you see it is bigger. So depending on what you want to do, so click enter. I'm going to say I want to write. So just you're typing normally. I want to write a file that's okay. I want to write a script that can onboard users and also delete users. All right. As a DevOps engineer. So this DevOps engineer, I want to make it bold. Let me finish writing it first. So I want to bold this. So I assume I don't know the command. So which one is for bold? Okay, look at this is the command for bold. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to do the command for bold. Just star. So when you're trying out the first time, it will look somehow and it's going to take like, what is all this? But as time goes on, you get to enjoy it. Now, when you add space, it's going to nullify that. So I don't add the space. Kind of I was bolding this. As a DevOps engineer, I like to automate my work my work. Although let us place it in italic. Let's check italic. This is italic. So italic is just one star general. So I'm going to place it in, oh, sorry. So I place it in italic. I think my spelling is not correct. Yeah, is it correct? AL. Oh, come on. Don't I know how to spell although again? I graduated from school. Okay, although I'm not lazy. So things to do. So I'm going to create this at least. Create. Can you see it's creating as create a file. Make directory shell. So we can continue so on and so forth. So if I want to include a code, a command in my distance. So let's assume that, okay, look at this .csv file now. Let's do this one. Let's do something like this. Create a CSV file and name it names.csv. Let's do something like this. So imagine you're typing all this from your editor. Create now if I want to do that, I want to show a command. You can see this, you're going to dots. It's not dots. Let me see if it is here. Inline codes with italic. You can see it here. You can see the command here. You can see it is at the left hand side of the screen under the escape button. Excuse me, under the escape button. It's called inline code. Yeah, it's called inline code. So you can see the command they use here. Just this small sign here. So I'll be using the same tool also. So I hope you can see it. Let me see. Yeah, look at it. Inline code. You can see it. Look how it looks like. These are inline code. So it must be within this two sign. So I just try to enlarge my screen so you can see it. So I'm going to do that also. It's called inline code. Create a CSV, right? File. So can you see that it has represented it in a normal way? File and names.csv. So you can continue on and on. So I'm going to add. So the last I'm going to add image, and I'm going to add. I'm going to add a link. So let's assume that I want to add this link. So I'll drop the link to this Git repository. You can clone it and use it for yourself. So I'm going to say, click this link. Now this link now, I want you to so when you click this link, you direct you to commonmark.org. So let's check how to create a link. I assume I don't know it. So let's go and check it together. So this is how to create a link. So you put the name in a square bracket, then you put the link in a comma. So let's do this. Okay. Create a link. I'm going to put the link here. So you can see how it has been represented. So I click on this. Can you see? Just open. It's going to take me to commonmark.org. That side that the link is representing. So you can see it worked fine. So anyway. So click this link to learn Markdown format. So definitely in our project, we do always have images in our in our Markdown project. We do always have images in our Markdown project. So now this is in our local file. Let's see, we can create an image. Yes, we can create an image. How do we download image to this instance now? How do I download image to this instance? Let's see. I need to download image to this instance. This is what I would do. So in order for me to have an image to play with, This is what I will do. Let me see if I can. So I will download an image to my system, right? Then I will upload it to my GitHub repository because it's an instance I'm using. So there's no way I can download an image to an instance. You know, there's no graphical user interface for that. So I'm going to save this image. So sorry, I'm taking your time. It will soon be true. So I've saved that image. So I'm going to go to my repository, right? I'm going to go to my repository. So because I want this image to appear in this instance, I want it to appear in this instance. So that's what I'm trying to do. And so this instance is not my local PC. There's no way I can have an image here that I can play around with. Well, this is what I'm going to do. So I've downloaded the image. So let's see. I think there's a way I can download or add something to this place. Go to file. Then we I can add actions. Let me see. There's a way I can upload something to my GitHub. There should be a way, right? Let's go back to us project. Yeah, add file. Come on. I'm going to click upload file. So I can drag and drop, but we are not using Chrome. This might not work. But let me I'll just click on choose file. I placed it in my downloads. What's the name of the file? I think it was named, yeah, this one. So I'll click open. So I'm going to click commit directly to main branch. So probably in another video, we can actually talk about creating new branch and pushing to that new branch, but I'll just click, make everything simple. I'll just come into the main branch. So there's a full course on Git in our dashboard. No, not this place. There's a full course on Git in the dashboard, so you can actually go through it and understand Git fully. So now this has been downloaded, right? So download ej.p, but it is not on our machine yet. So you know what we do now? We're going to do Git pull. Yeah, so now we have it. Now I have it. So now we can play with it now. So now I want to include an image. So, and the image is this. Let's check how to include image. So I don't know the commands. Let's check it together. So you can see this is a command to include image, just like when you're including a link. But for a link, you're going to add an exclamation for an image. Sorry, you're going to add an exclamation mark or an exclamation mark for it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to sorry. I'm going to name it image. I'm going to name it DevOps, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put the parts to this image. That's what you're going to do. So you just right click, and I just say copy part, right? Just say copy the part of this guy. I'm just going to come and I want to place it inside this place. Oh, what are you doing? I'm going to paste. I should paste. Ctrl Z. Let's go back again. Then copy part. I'm going to copy the part. Yeah. So you said home/ec2. So let's see if that worked. I don't think it worked because it's not displaying the image. Sorry, I want to try to expand the site. So that didn't work. So let's see. So it's not rendering properly. It's supposed to render, it's supposed to show you this image DevOps. So let me see, probably the command I'm using is wrong. Let's check image. Oh, okay. So you can see now, this is for .png. And I think I downloaded a JPEG file. So let's see, probably I'm going to get a PNG image. Let's see. Let's see if that's going to work. Save image. Okay, this is .png now. Okay, let's make that quick. I'm going to upload file. I'm going to choose the file. Okay, that's fine. So let's do cheat pool again. So let's check. Do we have it now? We should have the two images now. It's not showing yet. Let me check again. I don't think that thing uploaded. I don't think it's uploaded. Let me create it again. It didn't upload. So I just want to show you how to add image. Then you're going to be true. So I don't take too much of your time. So select this. I'm going to click open. Oh, I didn't commit. Come on. I didn't commit the file at that time. So, oh, sorry. So I'm going to need to, oh, Jesus, now, session now. Sorry, hello, can you all hear me? I'm going to say Git pool. So I think that we have it now. So we have it now. So I think I know what is wrong though, but let me try this. So, yeah, so I think the part I'm giving is wrong. The part I'm giving is wrong. So it's when the part you are specifying to the image is wrong. That is when you don't get to see display. So I think there was a part I was giving that was wrong. So that's why it was not displaying. So when the part you are specifying to the image is wrong, you don't get to see the image. So let me just place it like this. I will add another one. That means the JPEG file can actually work. The JPEG file can actually work. So I was actually suspecting that. So I think that one was called downloaded JPEG. Downloaded.jpg. Do we have it? Yes. So when it can't find the file, it's not going to it's not going to work, please. So you can see it's already working now. So please notice all these errors that I am making. Just notice these errors I'm making. So when you're making this kind of errors also too, your image will not get to display. So you can take your screenshots and store them. Make sure that you store them in the same directory, or you create a directory image, then you put them inside. Then it's not going to be image/JPEG, just like this one I'm working on over here. So over this place, I created a directory called image. Where did I even place it? Yeah, I created a directory called images. So if I want to specify an image, I'm going to call image first, then name of that file I want to copy. I want to call. Let me just look for an image. I look at this image. Okay, this is a link. I didn't call any image here. Let me see. I think there's a lot of image calling here. I look at this one now. I say go to this directory and call this image. So you go into images directory, then look for block id.png. So it's very, very important. So you can do it either way. You can make them to be present directly inside your file. Then you just call the name of the. So note my mistake the other time. I was copying the full part and it was confused. So since they are existing in the same directory, you could just call the name of the image you want to call. Then boom, you have it. So that's just basically what you have as the MD format. So now all this one we have done, they're actually not present on our GitHub repository. So we need to add. Now don't forget, initially, I made a commit from the repository here. So if I want to push back now, if I had not pulled initially before, this push I want to make would have returned an error. So please always note that in mind. So I'm going to say git add. I want to add all the files I've added. I can't be naming them one by one. So git commit. So this one I'm going to say learning MD format. So that has been committed. Please, I think you know the error now. I need add -m. So now they are committed. Now I can push. So they have been pushed successfully. So now this is how basically you're going to submit your project. Write it in .md format. So now this is very important because I think Dari was trying to explain to us sometimes ago that I think employers also look at your GitHub repository and they try to see from this aspect. If you can see my own, it's still kind of scanty because I don't really use it initially before. I just try to write locally, I don't push. Later on, when I find out that okay, it's actually important also, so I started using it. But some people you see everywhere is filled already. But that's not a problem. So it's very important that you learn how to use this GitHub repository and the like. So you can basically start to submit your projects from this place. So if you click on this .md format now, where is it? Down assignment.md. So you can see it. Where is assignment.md? So you can see what we wrote. This is everything we have done so far. So if you want to submit your projects, it's very simple. Sorry. So if you want to submit this project now, you can just come to the repository. You can click anywhere you want to click, and you click on this. Then you click on come to code. And you click on copy. wait. So we click on this. Please, if you want to submit project, if it is project 2 you are submitting, please make sure they are submitting from project 2 panel. If you are submitting project 3, please always make sure you are submitting from project 3 panel. So am I not signed in? seems I'm not signed in, so it's going to take me to. I'm not signed in. Let me just choose an account. Let me sign into a particular account. Let me see which account is available for me. Okay, I think this account is available for me to sign in. Sign in any available account. So we are true. We are true. Just trying to round up. I've copied the GitHub link. So let's assume I want to submit project 3. Let's assume everything I've done since that has been on project 3. So I'll click on this. So you select your project number. So you just select the project number you want to submit. Then you put the project link and you click submit. And that's all about everything. So it's very easy. Just try to find your way around it and everything will be fine. So as I said earlier, in case you have any about SSH, just generate an SSH key and you paste it inside a GitHub key and everything will be fine. I have sent this one to the channel. How to let me just look for. I've sent it on to the channel how to generate SSH key on Windows and how to get it. Let me also say I've also sent it on to the channel, this cheat sheet to the channel. Right? You can also check for better ones online. This one is not the ultimate. You can check for better ones, like I can watch videos. So let me see how to install Visual Studio Code on Windows 10. So let me copy this link. Yeah, exactly. So I'll just copy this link and also send it to the channel also too. So I don't know if anyone still has any other question or so far.
Hello, I have a question.
Okay. I'm with you, Okoyemi. Hello? Hello, Okoyemi, I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm just accessing my docs page. Like if I go to a project and see the doc, it's asking me to sign. I think there's some updates. Although I changed my OS, my system OS, so it's like I'm just logging into the docs page now. So I was able to log into the direct.io dashboard, but trying to access the docs page. So it's giving me some errors, and I got a mail earlier that is telling me basically the same login parameter that I have.
Please reach out to Solomon on that. Hello?
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, please reach out to Solomon on that. He's a support guy, so he's going to help you out in that aspect. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I guess there's any other question.
Hi, David.
I mean,
yeah, I have a little bit of unrelated question. I'm able to access my instance. I just started experiencing this now. I'm able to access my instance on mobile XTEM, but I can't access it on Git Bash.
So I'm going to stop this recording now so that it's not going to be too lengthy for people that want to watch it later on. Then we can now come back and attend to your question.
All right.
Yeah.